Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, so we're doing a spoiler discussion on Wonder Woman. I got three people that have been on before. I had to get my girl Tamara back on because she was there for Suicide Squad, and she kept it real. She kept it 100. She kept it 100, and we needed that. I also got Najee here from the Big Gold Belt Show. How's it going, man?
What's up, brother?
And I got artist extraordinaire Joe. How's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So it's been a week. Wonder Woman's clearing up the box office, 300 million worldwide, I believe, right now.
Yup.
Yeah, 300 million worldwide. Some hot take articles like, I'm shocked that this movie is making the money. I'm like, how are you shocked? It's Wonder Woman. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
So figure I'd just go knee deep into spoilers. I think me and D kind of like grazed on some spoilers, but we didn't really like go full tilt into it because I was like, I'd rather people just see it and make their opinion of it. So I guess first off, what was your guys' initial thoughts after seeing the movie? Like after the high is down, now that the high is down and you're calm and collected and stuff. What's your guys' thoughts? I guess starting with Tamara. What's your thoughts?
I still really liked it. Really love this movie. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I love this movie. It had its flaws, especially the third act, but it was a great movie. Like even like with the flaws there, it had a lot of heart. And for once, for the first time in years, I cared about a DC character. I cared about Diana, and I think that's a lot because that gives Listen to Damned and sad Jesus Clark. I don't care about Bruce. I don't barely remember any of the Slapdash Squad, but I care about Diana Prince.
Oh man, what about you, Joe?
Wait, are we talking about what we thought of it immediately after, or
just now
about
how you feel about it now that the high is down, and just thinking about it now? What's your thoughts?
No, I still loved it. I mean, I walked out of the theater thinking like, holy shit. I mean, that was damn near perfect and by far the best superhero movie this year. Like leaps and bounds. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about Logan. It's by far better than that.
I would say it is definitely in the running over Guardians. It's in the running. Both of those two are like neck and neck right now.
See, this is a separate subject, but I didn't really like Guardians 2 all that much. I liked it, I didn't love it, but anyways, like
yeah. Sorry about that.
This one was just, I mean, it was perfect, and I try to not read reviews because I don't really care, but like I had caught some online or like on YouTube or whatever, and everybody pretty much walked away saying the same thing. Like, man, it was pretty damn good. If I had to complain about something, it was X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? But nobody was like freely dishing out complaints. It was like, if I had to complain, this is what I would complain about. It was exactly what I wanted it to be, and I think it was a very important movie, and it came out at the perfect time.
Cool. What about you? Oh, yeah. Oh, anyway. What about you, Najee?
I still feel exactly the same way. I think my first initial thought was it was about a 45-minute to an hour drive going into traffic to see the screening in Baltimore. And
yeah, we were both there for that one. I forgot. Yeah, that was fun.
Right. And yeah, you had to adventure yourself. And the option is we could have seen it earlier that day. I think it was a Tuesday, or we could have waited to the following week to see it on a Wednesday. And it was just like,
I gotta see.
Am I really this pressed to go see a DC film this far, sitting in traffic for the rest of my life to go through it? And I have to say that I left out feeling really energized. It's always good to be at screenings with all my friends and everything, but nonetheless, the movie was really good. I thought the movie was really well paced. I will say I will have to tag off of you tomorrow as well that I am invested in the Wonder Woman character. I love the score. Absolutely love the score. Exactly,
yes. Beautiful. Like, it was kind of sad Hans Zimmer wasn't doing it, but this guy was really good.
Absolutely, yeah. Speaking of that, too, he had a concert not too long ago in this area, and I was really bummed I couldn't make that. But Chris Pine is somebody I don't think he's getting a lot of credit here. I thought the relationship that was in this movie wasn't forced and actually made sense. And
I want to talk about that like later on. Yeah, totally.
But nonetheless, I thought the movie was great, and if I get a chance to see it again this week, and I definitely wouldn't mind seeing it. The one thing I will say about this movie, which is funny to me, is that since this is doing so good and a lot of people liked it, a lot of people are starting to come out of the shadows now. Like, yeah, I love Batman versus Superman too.
Man, I call BS on that. I call BS on that. That movie is trash. Been trash. Will always be trash.
I mean, if we're gonna get in full tilt spoilers, I think one of the things that like I was kind of, I thought was interesting and stuff. I'm not like that huge of a stickler on lore as long as you kind of at least recognize it and stuff. I know a lot of people were like, oh, maybe they're gonna do the whole clay, Diana's gonna be made clay, but I was like, no, they're gonna go New 52 because I don't know if they really gonna have the nuance to really like, hey, let's just do the clay thing and just go from there, And I think they just like, all right, we'll do New 52. I was fine with that. I know some people weren't really feeling it too much, I guess. But yeah,
they did both.
Yeah, they kind of did both. It sounded like they did both, I guess.
Yeah, they said she was molded from clay and Zeus breathed life into her. So they did. They said it exactly.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like the movie was implying like, oh no, they got it on, and Diana, and
no. See what I think Diana thought that she was molded from clay and Zeus breathed life into her. What they actually said was Hippolyta and Zeus got it on, and thus, so they basically touched on both origins. Like she thought this was it, and then it turns out to be this.
Yeah, hence why she's a demigod. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I gotta be honest with you. When you really think about in terms of weaknesses and stuff, like Wonder Woman has no weakness, and that makes her a very valid threat.
Yeah. She's either a demigod. Technically, is she really demigod? Because they fully formed the Amazons. Like, I was, like, at least in the movie, we're talking the movie, I'm not talking about the comic books.
Yeah.
Like, are the Amazons themselves sort of kind of demigods? And then you have a demigod and a god.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? That's the one thing. Because they implied that the Amazons were sprung fully formed. And obviously they're very long-lived and very strong. So technically they're the ones that are demigods. And you have a demigod and a full god having a child. At least when I read mythology, that made you a god, not a god.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it was.
Yeah, it probably does make her a god. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was kind of the interesting aspect of it. Is like, where did they go from here? Because and it's kind of like why I know some women were a little miffed that hey, they didn't really focus on Themyscira and stuff. And it's like,
it's not about Themyscira.
I know.
I get it. Trust me, I love them chicks more than anybody. God, I want it. I don't think I meet the height requirement, but
I understood it, but it's like I treated it like Cap 1, where I wanted more World War II Adventures of Cap, and it's like, well, I'll take the montage, I guess. I'll take the montage.
That's not what the story was. That's not what the story is. It's an origin story. It's not a World War II story. But I see what you're saying.
It's like, oh man, I wanted more, but it's like I think the sequel, it'd be a very missed opportunity if they didn't go back to Themyscira and stuff. But it's
oh god, yeah.
You got to, because it's like, I would love to see them, like, because you got at least one woman on there that probably be like, this is bullcrap. We shouldn't even be on this island. We should be ruling over people. You know, there's at least one woman on that island that's thinking this. It has to be. There's no way it's all good in the hood in Themyscira and it's all peaceful. Somebody is bucking hard on traditions there and stuff. So.
I don't know. I like, when I'm at home, I like to stay at home.
Oh, what did you guys think of the special effects? Because I felt in the third act it was a little bit wonky.
It got so CGI heavy. Like I said, that it was like it started to feel green screen. It was too much, and the fight was
never a fan of CGI muscles, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was. You know what it started to feel like? God forgive me, please forgive me. It started to feel like a Transformers fight.
And I like Transformers, but yeah.
But you know, when it's stretched, it won't stop. Just stop fighting already.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, her and
and
Ares fighting and stuff.
Professor Lupin, I was just like...
Okay, actually, you know what? That's a good point. Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask Joe on this. Start off with Joe. Okay, the whole twist with the professor. Did you see it coming, or was it a surprise to you?
Sort of.
Dude, right when they were in the war room, the first time that you really meet him, I leaned over to my friend. I said, "That's Ares."
See, I didn't see it. I didn't notice it.
No, and I was like, it's too obvious. It's way like Patty Jenkins is smarter than that. She's not going to just, the bad German is the bad, God. It's too like Red Skull, and
yeah.
I leaned over and I was like, they didn't just put him in this movie just as a cameo. Like, this motherfucker is Ares. Like,
no, what set it off though wasn't just how he talked to Diana, because for me it didn't really click until
he was too helpful. He was too helpful, and Ares, they obviously, Ares and Diana are connected, and it's revealed they're brother and sister. That was kind of weird, but like, it was when they were in the bar and he's handing them the cash, I was like, nah, he's too helpful, man. Like, he's too good. And then, like, as far as your CGI question goes, here's the thing I don't understand. So you walk into a movie called Wonder Woman. Yeah. It's about a god among men, basically, based on a comic book, who's had 60, 70 years of history, and then people want things to look real.
Yeah.
I think if she had a bigger budget, I think that's my more concern. If she had a little bit of a more, little more money, that last scene probably would have been a little bit better. But my question is, do you ever read a Wonder Woman comic at all, ever, and look at the action sequences and go, these are drawn really realistic? No. They're over the top. I know.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking more of like the background stuff, and
I understand. I understand, but like I heard people in the theater going, "Oh my god, it was fake," and I'm like, "Cause it fucking is fake. It is fake."
I think the only time it's ever the one time in comics it's ever been realistic is when she was fighting Deathstroke, and that's because Deathstroke is a sword fighter. He ain't a dude that will pitch a tank across at somebody. No, he's gonna fight.
But you get what I like. It's like if you go to these, and I'm just talking about people in general. If you walk into a Wonder Woman movie or Transformers or Ninja Turtles or whatever, and you're looking for fucking realism, I would argue that you're in the wrong wrong theater.
I will interject with that. If you're gonna talk about when we saw Civil War, that airport fight scene, even with Giant Man, it still looked pretty darn real. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But in terms of if you're showing feats of skill, it's like you can't really complain.
But not really. I mean, look at Spider-Man. He was 90% CGI. Everyone's complaint with that scene was Spider-Man looks fake, and I'm like, because he fucking is fake.
He is fake.
Because
Tom Holland's good, but he's
Batman,
not that good.
But see, like when they're like, well, Wonder Woman picking this up, or like Batman. No, they can't move like that. They're based on fictional, So I get, I understand, it kind of being, towards the end, my complaint with the CGI was, I couldn't really tell what the hell was happening.
Yeah, that's what threw me off.
But, Ares, dude, the biggest complaint was, I thought, okay, you have Professor Lupin, that's his, first disguise. And then as soon as the helmet comes on, I thought, when he stuck his fingers in the helmet and, pulled it down, I thought, all right, he's going to go black, just a shadow face, with red eyes, and I'm like, cool. Then when you saw Lupin with the mustache, and the voice underneath the helmet, I was like, fuck.
It's 300. Ares came out instead of 300.
That addresses it for me right there.
Yeah, they should have went all the way. You're 100% right. That's kind of because you get glimpses of him, and I'm like, dude, really?
It's from a distance.
Like a blacked out face with red eyes.
I agree, Joe.
From a distance.
Very disappointed here.
I will agree with the artist. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, from a distance, I was like, okay, they went sort of Injustice, but then close up, it's like he came off the set of 300 and just threw on the helmet. Only thing that was missing is the only thing that was missing was he goes shirtless with abs. I'm like, okay, I don't believe this dude got abs whatsoever. What's going on here, man?
Not at all.
But in all fairness, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just expecting a little bit more of a fight scene, more or less like how Immortals was done, the movie Immortals.
Oh I forgot about that. Yeah, shit.
Even if we didn't get something as good as the fight there, I was just expecting the costume design for Ares to be just a tad bit better. And like everybody's been emphasizing so far, it very well fell flat on his face, just how he looked and everything, and the mustache really threw me off. I
think it didn't click for me knowing his heel turn flip was right when they called when he called it, when Trevor called his secretary,
Yeah.
and he got on the phone and he was like, "Well, don't go to the airfield." I'm like, this guy is very concerned on them not really making a move on
Very
this person. I'm
Very
like,
much.
okay, there's something up, but like I said, Joe was like, "Oh, I caught it early." I was like, damn, I would never really figured him being nice was really the tell. It was like, oh shit.
You know
I
why?
agree too. That's my flag went up too at the same time to call. I didn't see this coming at all. I will be naive.
It was a tell for me because it reminded me of Hot Fuzz and Timothy Dalton's character. He was so helpful. And when Edgar Wright was doing the commentary, he said, we were trying to make it as obvious as possible. If we could get a neon sign saying villain, villain. So now I'm always suspicious.
See, that's bad because even I
overly
picked up.
friendly.
See, that's weird. I watched Hot Fuzz and I picked up on him being the bad guy off the break, but yet this movie I couldn't. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, I'm
But if you think about it though, like they kind of tell you that like the longer that war goes on, the stronger Ares becomes, yada yada yada. So
Yeah.
like, let's say, I forgot the character's name, but just call him Professor Lupin. Let's say he didn't give them the money or he didn't give them the clearance. The war, like their effort to stop the war wouldn't have gone through. Thus, the war could have ended quicker. So he's basically prolonging the war by saying, "Here's some money, here's some access. Like I don't know anything about it. Go ahead." You know what I mean? So
Well,
by him
technically,
being helpful, he's kind of fueling the fire.
yeah. Yeah,
I
so I
was
guess
kinda-
I guess he didn't think that they were going to succeed. It's like, fuck it, they're not going to succeed. They'll quit. So yeah. Oh, were you about to say tomorrow?
No, it's like I was kind of conflicted because he wanted. Well, if you really listen, he almost got what he wanted. In some ways, he did get. If he had survived, he got what he wanted because if you listen to what he was saying, because if you remember, World War II is right around the corner, specifically for what he did. A crappy armistice that drove the Germans insane, which then led to World War II.
Yeah.
He almost got a Zemo. He technically was still a winner because in less than 30 years, there's going to be World War II.
Well, even Pine told her when she was like, "I don't believe it. They're not stopping." Pine was like, "Well, we're human beings. We're
Sometimes people are just shitty.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
we're just crappy people. You can't just kill him and it's going to stop." It's like, no, that's a flawed argument. It's not going to work that way.
Yeah.
But I did like the naivety of Diana. Like they didn't play.
Yeah.
They really could have. And I think maybe kudos to the writing team because a lesser writer would have really made Diana this stupid person.
Yeah.
And they just made her like kind of like a big kid in a way, but not dumb. Like she knew what was up, but she was like, "Oh my god, a baby! Oh my god, like, hey, war, we can stop it. We can be happy." And it's like that's not how it works. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't been like I heard a bunch of people complain about her too, which I think is batshit crazy. But
Oh yeah, it is.
I haven't been so, I don't know what the word is, captivated by like a first time, an actor doing an origin movie. Like I haven't been that captivated by it, honestly, since like Christopher Reeve. And like you could obviously see the nods to the Donner movies, like in the alleyway when she's deflecting the bullets. I'm like, come on, that's straight out of fucking Superman. But like, she played Diana very much like he played Clark. Just very like. Although I mean, he's kind of a disguise, but her night. How do you say? Is it night?
Naivety.
Back to she. All right.
Yeah.
I'm like stumbling here. Anyways, the fact that she's so naive and she's so kind of like awestruck by everything and like all that other shit, like you're right, it didn't come across as her being dumb, it just came across as her being like when they pull into London and she's like, it's hideous, like yeah, it's fucking industrial revolution, like you know what I mean,
it ain't beautiful.
or war torn. Yeah, like she was good, man, and I'm sure every guy feels the same way. That woman is so goddamn good looking, it hurts my feelings. Like,
which is a good point.
She's
a god. She's Wonder Woman. She's supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
So I think everybody can pretty much agree that our reserves for her being casted originally, everybody's pretty much comfortable with that now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, besides her
point,
looks, a lot of people was worried about her structure, so to say, and how
you
frail she is.
Just looking, if you look at her and stuff, and this is somebody like if you've seen her, like go back and watch Fast and Furious when you
That's
first saw
exactly
her.
the beach scene.
Yeah, no, I ain't talking about Fast 5. The Fast 4. I'm just gonna say Fast 4.
Okay, yeah.
If you look at her there, she was very like thin model, like runway. I could tell when I
didn't
watched
even
her.
know she's in those movies.
Yeah, so like when I saw her in Wonder Woman, I'm like, okay, look, like she really kind of like, it ain't like obtuse bulk, but it's like, oh, she put on some weight. Like you can see it, you can see it a bit. It's like, okay,
Dude,
yeah.
There were people wanting her to look like an MMA fighter, you know, like there were a couple people like, oh, she's too skinny, and it's like, dude, her power doesn't come from lifting weights.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not like she's on Themyscira bench pressing.
I mean, look at the JL cartoon.
Any kind of right. So, like, you could tell she had, but then let's say they had cast a woman that was a little bit more muscular, right? Yeah. People would have complained about that. She's not sexy enough. She's too butch. Yada yada yada. Like, so this actress, she's fucking stunning. She's tall. She's exotic, and you know she trained her ass off, and she was part of like Israeli special forces.
Yeah.
So she's a legit fucking badass.
Yeah, off the break, even before Wonder Woman.
Exactly. So like, by the way, did you guys catch that since Gal can't do like an American accent or any other kind of accent, everyone on Themyscira had to do an Israeli accent?
Was that their version of a Greek accent? Is that what they're doing?
Possibly.
I think they just tried to sound like her because she can't sound, you know,
Connie
any
Nielsen
other way.
sounded like her. Connie Nielsen sounded this way she always sounds, like when she did Gladiator and stuff. She's Danish. She sounds the same to me.
I think Robin Wright was the one that was really like, I'm going to throw an accent in this. And I was like, I wasn't expecting Robin Wright to throw an accent on this. I thought she was just going to be her regular, like, not soft-spoken like she is in House of Cards, but just like kind of loud and stuff. Cool. But it's like, oh, like, she threw an accent on this. All right, cool.
She did that.
But it's weird because the gods are English, apparently, and the Amazonians are Israeli, apparently.
Well, I'm going to say Sir Patrick, that's his name. I'm going to say Sir Patrick. He sounded English because he was English. He's inhabiting an English form. So I say that's why he sounded like that. Yeah. I was like, stick with it.
What about when he turned into Aries?
I guess he just stuck with the form. He stuck with the form.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck it.
I'm already committed to this.
Who knows how long? It's like, who knows how long he's been in that form? So why change a good thing? It's like,
oh man,
like, because we never really got a timeline for when these events
change
occur.
That mustache for sure.
Hey, I'll say this though too. So the bad guys and stuff. A lot of people say that they are Marvel-esque bad guys, and I gotta be honest with you. I was like this. Look, I knew those two were going to be sub bosses because you can't just there was no way you're going to tell me Dr. Poison was going to fight fisticuffs with Diana. There was no way you're going to tell me she's going to throw a punch at Diana. It's like, come on, dog. No, she was sub boss material and she played her part, and I was fine with it. I was also fine with the general, snorting his cocaine. I was joking around saying he was snorting cocaine, and then all of a sudden he has superpowers and stuff. Apparently he was based off a real, actual German general.
Yeah. That guy actually existed.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was just made up, and it was like, nah. Danny Huston was like, no, Ludendorff was a real general in World War One.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
Ludendorff was he's a real dude.
I was like, oh, dope. I like to call them the Not Howling Commandos. I did like them.
Yeah, because we're great.
They were good.
Because we're so good.
They were really good. I really liked that they got the actor that was playing the Native American actor that was playing Chief. They said that he worked with Patty Jenkins, so his outfit was authentic, and he actually spoke Blackfoot. I think that was the language.
Yeah.
He spoke. It was really nice representation in what he was saying, and it was nice. I like that.
Yeah. If you've seen him, he was in Hell on Wheels. I don't know if you actually watched that show. Yeah, he's actually in that show. He's actually really good in that show. I was like, I've seen him before.
And that guy, the Scottish guy, I have seen him in so many things, and he seems to be getting more crazed and more Scottish with every movie. Because I remember seeing him in Alien vs. Predator, and And I'm like, dude, like, how Scottish can you get?
He always plays a very kooky. Not gonna say kooky. That's kind of probably.
No, it's kooky.
Okay,
He's quirky, kooky. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, because I remember watching Black Hawk Down. He was the same way. Like it's like Black Hawk Down. He's playing that nervous soldier. And it's like, hey, dog, like really, like every movie I seen you in, even in was it Jack and the Giant Slayer? He plays another quirky person. I'm like, dear God, man, is that just whatever? I'm fine with it because it's cool. Because like, hey, that's your shtick. Go with it. You know, you might as well make it work and stuff.
It's just different hairstyles, like same character, different hairstyle.
Samir was cool. I forgot. I will botch that dude's name up. I'm just gonna say Samir, the dude from. I'm gonna say the guy that I know from Three Kings. That guy, the main man.
Don't even try it, man.
I'm not even trying to. I'm just be like that dude. He was awesome. I like him. You know what's funny about him? He actually is a good character actor.
Yeah.
I really do like him because he was in a movie with Don Cheadle, I think, where it was like about the terrorists and stuff, and he was actually really good in that movie too. And yeah, I liked him too. You know, he was playing like kind of like a playboy. He was like, oh, I wanted to be an actor, but you know, I was wrong color, so you know, that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, that was actually pretty funny. Just that and also the Native American dude, like, yeah. So Diana was like, so who took your land? His people.
It's like, dang. And if you think about it, considering the time frame, it's not like us a century plus removed. Yeah. It's maybe 30, 40 years removed, and that's kind of it's really raw for him.
Oh yeah, you know? Yeah. It was like his people, but you know, hey, I'm out here in London, get my money up, so might as well.
You know what they did really well though? Like again, I mean, like I love the actors. The story was really cool. The action, everything was cool. But like the movie worked because of Patty Jenkins.
Oh man.
You know, like
you don't win an Oscar for no reason.
Well, I mean, she won. She got Charlize Theron her only Oscar. You know what I mean? Like, she's. And then I was kind of thinking, I was like, man, I wonder what Thor 2 would have looked like. Because remember, she was going to direct Thor 2, and then
that's
that. Marvel, but it's Marvel's loss. Marvel probably is like, fuck. You know, because now she's got the #1 movie in the world, probably going to beat The Mummy this week. She's the highest grossing female. You know what I mean? Like, DC has to lock her down, or Warner Brothers has to lock her down.
They already got her for Wonder Woman 2. She's already signed on to do the second one.
I saw today she hasn't signed, and now they're like,
oh, the ball's in her court. She wants
to do it. She's like, I'm in. I've got ideas. Let's do it. But I want to get paid. Which, you know,
she probably wants the money, and she probably wants the control. Because she said she had to.
And I would lock her into. I would make her an executive producer or part of that brain trust moving forward. With like, you know, Aquaman and fucking Justice League 2, just like let her, you know, show her some shit and say, hey, what do you think of this Aquaman? Oh, that's cool, but I would tweet. You know what I mean? Like, let her have some input on these movies, because like she clearly knows what she's doing,
and she knows how to do an ensemble, because she saw like it was an ensemble too.
She's fucking brilliant, and you know, the thing that I like a lot about the movie is like, if you think about Superman's story and her story, they're not that different, but then they portrayed Wonder Woman in a way that wasn't like, oh, she's just a female Superman, like she's this god, you know, sent to Earth, whatever. Like the kind of, they call him the brooding Jesus Superman. I like that version because now it makes Wonder Woman that much different.
Yeah.
Because if you look at their origins in comics, it's like they're the fucking same thing. You know what I mean? Like they're the fish out of water. But then if you watch Wonder Woman, I feel like if you go back and watch the other movies, maybe you don't love them, but maybe they make more sense to you now. Like, oh, okay, well, Diana's kind of naive, whatever.
Are you really going to make me go watch Batman versus Superman?
But see, here's the thing. Like with Man of Steel, Clark grew up on Earth. Diana just is like, hey, I'm a god. What's up? Let's fight. She doesn't know how humanity is going to react to her. She doesn't even care.
Yeah.
Clark grew up on Earth, so he's saying, I can't show these people who I am.
And also his dad, too.
I was just going to say,
his dad reinforced that shit, too.
Yeah.
Well, technically, even Diana has that, because Hippolyta has always told her, the world of men do not deserve her, do not trust outsiders. She's gotten that, too. But
you're beating around the bush tomorrow. She basically said men ain't shit. Let's be real about this.
Yes. Yes. because it's true.
She also said, "Don't go to Earth," and Diana was like, "Fuck that." So like Diana was
right. So
Yeah.
she's just going against
more.
Claire.
Diana was more willing to like show. I mean, when she was going to take her coat off and with her armor, like Clark is more like, man, if I show people who I am, it's going to change the world. Diana's like, oh,
he's seen the repercussions too as well.
Yeah.
But Diana.
So what I'm saying is like, Patty Jenkins is smart enough, to say, okay, well, this is how Superman is. Batman's a little bit older this time. Let's make Diana, maybe kind of what again. She's like Christopher Reeve as Superman.
Yeah.
Who's a different Superman than Henry Cavill. So like her origin and her personality fits in with these other characters, like kind of not a darker Superman, but kind of a more conflicted Superman, and you know what I mean. So like to me now, it's like, oh, okay, now it kind of makes more sense. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, because like you say, when you look at Batman v Superman, she's already acclimated to the world and stuff. So if
she even said, "I've killed gods before."
Oh yeah, because that little line that she does drop in Batman v Superman. Now it's like, oh yeah, she says she killed monsters. Okay, yeah. But even without this movie, you can buy like, oh yeah, she's been here for a while, so she probably definitely fought some shit like we don't know about. But yeah, it definitely does in context. It's like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense and stuff, and you figure that if Batman v Superman, she just arrived on Earth, a lot of scenes definitely would have played differently, like her being at that, I guess the art museum and stuff, meeting with Bruce. I don't know if that conversation would have went the way it would have went if she first came, to Earth.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
I like that she's had over a century to get used to things and blah 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 and hide in plain sight. Yeah. So she's
and if you think about it though, like again, like I try to look at these as like people bitch about Batman, Superman, Man of Steel, yada yada yada, and I get it, but like to me, it's like, look, if 10 years from now, I honestly do, especially with how good Wonder Woman is and like how DC has shown, like, look, we can make movies that you want, just calm down. So I think 10 years from now, a lot of us will sit back and say, you know what, that did make sense. Like at the time, it was blasphemous and it was blah blah blah, but it all made sense in the end because. Yeah. Wonder Woman, like she just said, has been here for a century. So Clark is Superman. He died, but remember at the end, she said, they're going to honor him as a soldier, and she fought alongside him. So how do we know that moving forward, Diana isn't the one that kind of helps establish the Superman that we all know and love? Meaning the kind of lighthearted, Superman being like, look, I've been where you've been. I've been around a lot longer than you. We're very similar in terms of being outcasts. Mm-hmm. But like, I've seen all my friends and these people that I care about die. I can't go back and see my parents, but like, it's okay. So how do we know that she's not going to help him become, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I can see her shaping that because like I said, I love Man of Steel. I mean, like I said, whatever gripes that I have, it's just like me just joking around. Gripe kind of like, oh man, that Zod fight, it was hilarious. They punched through each other in IHOP. That's about it. I laugh at that because it's like, it's dumb, but it's like, okay, it didn't kill it for me.
That's what the fuck would happen.
Yeah, that's what the
fuck would happen.
That's the thing. It's like, it's like dumb, but it's like, I'm going to complain about that? Really? That's how a fucking damn super fight is going to happen. Shit.
Well, they should have taken it away from the city. He fucking tried to take it into space, and Zod was like, "No, I can't kill anybody out here. I'm going back to town." Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like that's the thing because it's like that was my thing with Man of Steel. I'm like, you guys really over exaggerated. I mean, hell, I could pick up a freaking comic book and see Batman kicking the shit out of people, and he destroyed like 10 blocks of damn Metropolis, and they're like, "Oh, another day of Superman, just beat somebody, whatever."
But you notice how Wonder Woman was like, "We're gonna go hit an airfield," so.
And everybody's going to sit back and watch.
Yeah, and a bunch of people don't die, and then they all become friends at the end.
Well, temporarily,
Temporarily. Till 30 years later.
Yeah.
It's like World War II. We're not friends anymore, but we had beer the other day. Nope, sorry. Nope.
You know what? In my opinion, okay, if we want to talk about Steve Trevor, a.k.a. Chris Pine, I think he had the most realistic reactions to any non-powered being in any superhero movie ever made. he sees two gods fighting. How many times have you seen a movie? You see, okay, I was in the army, so we call him Joe Snuffy, Private Joe Snuffy. See some stuff going down that is mind blowing. You said, you know what? I'm gonna get in on this. What are you doing? He sees, oh my God, I see Diana because she's been talking about a god. He finally sees, oh my God, she wasn't crazy. There is a god.
It's like, how do you not believe it when she just pitched a damn tank over? That's my thing.
Because it's a movie. Because it's a movie. We need the conceit. Just go with it.
All I'm saying is, the two brown people believe Diana. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
They did.
They got it right away. But he finally sees them fighting. He says, you know what? Diana's got this. I'm going to do what I can do. For once, he says, you know what? I'm going to let her do her thing. I'm going to deal with the plane. Because that makes sense.
I got a theory with this. All right? Now, yes? I don't put too much stock when these studios, they sign actors to multi-movie deals.
Oh, my God. He's dead. He's dead.
Here's the thing.
He's poisoned and set on fire.
I got a theory.
He's dead.
Now, what if Steve Trevor has a son or something? They try to pull, because
Peggy Carter.
Because they did that in the comments with Peggy Carter, where it was like she had a daughter that looked just like her and stuff. And I was like, what if they kind of play it that way in this?
Ew. Just like
I
think
that's weird.
The thing with Sharon, I always thought was ew, and that's just as ew. Ew.
Hey, the Sharon thing is at least endearing. It's like, hey. Cap got the nod head of approval from Falcon and Bucky. It's good.
He got the nod of approval from two guys.
Yeah, right.
It was like, all right, Steve, you're good.
I didn't want him to die.
Okay, you've got Falcon, who's got PTSD, and you've got Bucky, who's got deep-seated psychological issues. I'm not taking their recommendations. They're the last guys to give me personal advice.
I mean, I agree with Joe, though. Joe was saying that, him dying. I was like, I didn't see that coming.
No, I mean, dude, that Chris Pine, like...
It was great.
Every time I see him do an interview... Like, a week ago, I just watched him in Hell or High Water, and he was outstanding in that. But, like, every time I see him in an interview, he always kind of comes across as somebody that takes himself a little too seriously. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
But then when you see these characters that he plays, you're like, that fucking guy is, like, made of charisma. You know what I mean? Like, he's a fucking good-looking dude, and it was crazy because, like, he was the audience. He was us looking at her like, what the fuck? Like, what? You know, he was and he was us, but he reacted probably how most of us would have acted. Like, when he saw her and he's like, holy shit. You know, and then, like, when they were when she caught him in the baths or whatever.
Yeah.
And he immediately starts talking about his dick. It's like, yeah, man, she's so good looking. You would panic. You would panic and be like,
lose your mind. You lose your mind and try to impress her.
I don't think anybody can appreciate a character that has the human, like, element or instinct, like, naturally. And probably the reason why I don't like a lot of scary movies nowadays, because just like you said, like, something happens and people just keep going to it. Matter of fact, this is exactly why I didn't like Alien or the movie Life, because it's like, problems keep happening. People keep going to it.
Here's the thing, though. I'll say this about Life. Those people weren't stupid. They just didn't understand what the fuck was killing them. That's the difference. That's the key difference with Life. They weren't dumb. It was just whatever they were doing, they didn't know how to react to the shit. So
there was a bitter obsession once the trouble had hit, and you had to let it go, and people didn't. And Alien, people kept
Alien Covenant, those
people kept looking for them.
Alien Covenant, those people were stupid. Life, it was just like, they just had bad luck. That's all that really was. It was like, shit, what the fuck can you do? Bad luck.
I really do like
Alien Covenant. Was terrible.
So bad. I really do like Joe Point, though. I never thought of it that way. Chris Pine definitely. It was how we viewed the movie.
Listen, man, Steve Trevor, and me and Dee said this too, I was like, I am shocked that they could have, that's another thing too, again, kudos to the writing. They really could have had Steve be the misogynistic person off the break, and then he learns the lesson over the course of the movie, but they didn't go that route. I was really kind of sort of expecting like a light version of it, like, hey, toots or something like that, but it's like, oh, didn't get that.
No, he was still kind of treating her the way he knows how to treat women, but he wasn't nasty about it. But he's from the late 1800s, early 1900s. Yeah. You know, it was like 1918 or 19 whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible. And then, you know, he would still try to tell her what to do. And I'm like, dude, you saw her throw a tank. Really? You're going to grab her? I think about that.
It's like, Diana,
again, that's how we would, because this is why I like this guy so much, because, like, he said a couple of times, like, I'm not a good guy, you know, but he did good shit. And, like, he was kind of conflicted in terms of, like when they were asking the questions, he's like, I can't tell you that. Like, he was fucking diehard for his country.
Yeah.
You know, and then when they put the lasso of truth on him, like, he breaks, but he treated her with enough respect. Yeah. Like, even on the boat, when he's like, no, you lay there and I'll lay over here. And you know what I mean? Because he's like, I'm trying to be respectful. And then she's like, no, just come lay with me. And he's like, well, fuck, all right. But like, when he's trying to grab her, I took it more like that's just a guy's instinct. Is yes. Like, even though you're the hero of the movie and the story, and you're way, you know, tougher and stronger than me, my instinct is to protect you. Like, when they were in the alley and he, like, got her behind him.
Yeah.
I was like, see, that's a good guy. His instinct is to protect her, and then she's like, "No, fuck out of the way. I got it."
Like, I just deflected these bullets. Watch.
Yeah, and then even at the end, like when she's in full Wonder Woman mode, battling Ares, or like when the No Man's Land scene in the village, like he watched her do all this incredible shit, and he said, "Get this on the back," and he said, "Diana, shield." You could see he was like, okay, like, she's got this, but, like, I need to help. And it was like, that's a good guy. Like, that's a good... Mm-hmm. He's not the hero of the movie, and he understood that. And he was like, I can't do what you do, but I can still help.
Yeah.
And I like that. And, you know, I didn't want him to die, because I really like that guy, but, like... Listen, he would have died of old age anyway, so...
He would have died.
You know what? That would have been... You know what? I was expecting Diana to have that Captain America Peggy Carter moment where, you know, Captain saw Peggy when she was in the hospital and stuff, and I thought... Because I think even in Justice League cartoon, they had a scene where Diana visited Steve in like, you know, the old folks' home and stuff. And granted, I think maybe they couldn't do it because of how... You know, how much years went by and stuff. So maybe if it did happen, it's like, well, if it's 2000, I don't know if he'd still be alive.
It would have been way before. It would have been way before Batman versus Superman, because the last World War I veteran died at least 10 years ago.
Yeah.
At least 10 years ago. Like, there's only a couple World War II veterans left. So yeah.
Unless he's on that comic magic voodoo where it's like, oh, he's 120 years old and still... Like,
no, he would have died sometime, likely, let's say, in the 70s, or, you know what I mean? Like, you figure he's 30-something in this movie. It's, what, 1913?
So let's say he was... Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So let's say,
all those toxins he was around, I don't like his eyes.
Those toxins would have sped it up maybe a little bit more. I think... Sure. He got what a good soldier got. He went out in a blaze of glory. He doing the right thing. I think me as a soldier, if I had to die like that, I would like to go out like that. Yeah. So he got a hero. He got a hero's death, and I think an Amazon from Themyscira can respect that.
You know, it was wilding me out too. You know, there was jokes about her having a sword inside of her dress, and I'm like, okay. Theory on this. Do you think she tied up the woman she stole the dress from?
Yeah. She either knocked her out or tied her up. There's no way Diana killed that woman. She just...
No, I wasn't saying she killed her. I was just like...
She probably wrapped her up in the cloak. And she... Like her black cloak. Because you didn't see it for the rest of the movie. Yeah. So she probably knocked her out, wrapped her up in the cloak, and probably dumped her in one of the cars. It's like... That was the conceit.
I need that dress. I'm like... okay.
That dress was gorgeous. I want that dress.
I'm just saying, how does nobody notice the sword sticking out the back? That's all I'm saying.
I think people did it. They just weren't going to do anything about it, you know.
Or they just thought it was really ornate. Like, I actually love Edwardian style clothing. Like, I actually, that's that time period is Edwardian. Yeah. And I actually look at that clothing. And it was actually, I know it was a bit extreme, but it was heavily, especially evening wear, was it heavily embroidered or, you know, bits and pieces on it. So they probably just thought it was like a really crazy design, which I'm telling you, if you were to research, you know, if you wanted to, female embroidery and formal wear, you would see it wasn't too far-fetched for them not to say anything.
Yeah.
See, you guys are thinking way too hard into this. I interpret it as, she's so fucking good looking, nobody can say shit.
Yeah.
That works.
There's always that too.
Because when she walked in the room, everybody turned around and looked at her. You know what I mean?
Even Pine was like, after he was trying to smooth talk Dr. Poison, he was like,
"Oh, and I want to talk about that, about when we were talking about Chris Pine being a charisma and stuff. That was that writing. Who wrote that speech? That entropy speech? The way he delivered it, what he was saying, that was amazing. Dude, that was like a stunning scene between him and Dr. Poison. And I was like, dude, you have her.
Them words,
you have her. Like, fire. Don't you love fire? I got chills when he said that stuff. And I was like, dude, you have her. Why are you looking at Diana? You're a crappy spy. That's a James Bond would have.
She bought it and then turned around.
Like
she bought it and then turned around and was like, "Oh, so you looking at her instead of me? Bet. All right. Well, the general likes me."
It's like it's like, I got your number. You're just like every other man. It was like, that was a really good scene. And little side note, when we're talking about the general and Dr. Poison, I know a lot of people are talking about like their mini bosses or there's this standard thing. They were actually a really good team. You know, like them together, their scenes together, you sense like respect. It wasn't like I'm using her. I think they were really a team, and I like that. I think they were actually really well written.
Yeah, she hooked him up, and then he hooked her up and stuff. I mean, the scene that had me rolling was when he threw the gas mask in the room, and she's like, "Why'd you give him a gas mask? They don't know it doesn't work. Just get out of here."
And they start cackling. That's such an old school kind of villain thing, but it was actually really cool. Like, they both cackled together.
Yeah. I mean, even though I'm saying they're sub-bosses and stuff, I wasn't knocking them because I think they served their purpose very well, you know, and stuff. So they had an objective, and they did it, you know, and just Diana foiled it. I mean, it wasn't nothing convoluted and stuff. You just keep it simple. It didn't have to be ridiculous. It's like, no, this is some World War I stuff. We got gas. We're chemical warfare. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think, no, we talked about the music and stuff. I forgot. That was
an amazing score.
Henry Gregson Williams. I think that's his brother that did Rupert Williams. That's his brother that actually did the music for this. I was like, this sounds familiar.
Wait a minute. Why don't, dude? You gotta address the fact that, you know, again, nerds are like, oh, Marvel's better than DC. Okay, well, cool. Tell me about the villains again. But, you know, like, that No Man's Land scene,
man,
where all the fucking guys are like, no, we can't go out there, like, leave them, we can't save them all, and a fucking chick is like, nah, fuck this, like, I got it, you know?
Yeah.
Man.
And gets up there and deflects, you know, takes all the, and it kind of made me wonder, like, is she bulletproof yet or no? But, like, she takes all the fire, and then the guys are like, well, fuck, man, like, all right, like, that easily, some of the most powerful shit you will find, I would say, in a movie in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
I'm not just talking comic movie, I'm talking, like, in the middle of war, these guys are afraid, and a fucking chick, basically, in a skirt and, like, what, you know, a top, comes out and it's like, I got this. You're just like, there were grown men in the theater, like, in fucking tears, myself included, but anyway.
That's not even an exaggeration, too.
I mean, look,
definitely was.
I mean, I wasn't trying to give it a disservice by saying it reminded me of, like, First Avenger. And I mean, maybe because of the setting and stuff, but, like, I got First Avenger vibes of just, like, when you saw Cap.
Like when he goes
done way better.
Yeah, but done way better, but, like, when I saw Cap roll out in that uniform, in that montage sequence, that's kind of how I felt with Wonder Woman, where I'm like, yo, this is awesome. Like, this is Wonder Woman. This is awesome.
I think it's fine that it's similar to that, because they're both becoming who they are. Like, prior to that, he was a dog and pony show. That's all they were letting him do. They did all this stuff to him, but they would not let him fight. Same with Diana. Like, she's been training. If you think about it, Diana's been training for... We don't know how Diana really is. So we don't know how long it took her to age. So she could literally be 1,000 years old for all I know. And she's been training for that long. And so she's finally doing what she's been studying and training for. And people are pulling her back. You know, no, you gotta be this. And she's finally showing, no, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be. And the same with Steve. So yeah, I totally did get that. But I get why. Because they're both finally being allowed to be who they've been trained to be.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? I don't know if it's made me. Did the slow motion bother you in the fights at times?
No,
we've already accustomed to them in every other DC movie that they've done.
What? It's DC. It's the Matrix. It's like Marvel actually doesn't do that. They don't do the slow mo things. It's actually they almost seem to speed it up a little bit, which is cool. Like Daredevil actually doesn't do that because it's like real time.
It's raw. It's like no,
it's raw and stuff like that. But it was almost like there's you know what I got from it? It was almost like they're showing me vignettes from Greek sculpture. Like if you look at ancient Greek sculpture and they do stuff, you're almost getting that. You know, it's almost like you put that on art. So and it was the freeze frames were gorgeous.
Oh yeah, like, I mean when she kneed dude out the building.
I was like, damn.
I need to get that as a screenshot, by the way. Whenever I can get it on Blu-ray, that's a screenshot right there.
That's a screen. That's gonna be my background.
I mean, you know, because here's what had me though. When she's in the city and she's whirling around the lasso of truth, that's like that really set it off right there.
It was beautiful. Like, I know people kind of nervous. I was kind of nervous because I was just used for the lasso of truth as being a lame rope trip, but the fact it was glowing, the fact that she can control it like that. Again, and it made sense because technically it's a, what would you call it? Like, I'm Catholic, we would call it holy relic, but it's not a holy relic, but you know, it was a gift from the gods. So of course it makes sense it's more than a rope. You know, it has more than one trick to it. Yeah. So yeah, that was stunning. It was stunning.
Easily, man.
You know what's funny though, and again, I hate the Marvel DC comparisons because it's like Marvel wants DC to succeed, DC wants Marvel to succeed. We all fucking win, but like, it's kind of funny that you get those purists that are like, oh, Marvel's better than DC, and you're like, really? Okay, you know, fair enough, but DC has now beat Marvel to the punch with the first female and the most important female character in the fucking history of comics. And look at the praise it's getting. Yeah. Look at the money it's making, etc., etc. And DC is going to beat Marvel underwater with Aquaman. So
that's only because that's not fair.
That's provided if Marvel doesn't get petty and push that Namor shit.
Yeah.
No, Aquaman's already in production. There's no way they can fast track Namor to beat the release of Aquaman. They can't. It's not going to happen.
No, I'm saying. Honest. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to be honest. I don't really care that much about water. I like space. I want to be in space. I rather if we want to be petty, and you guys know I'm a hardcore Marvel stan, I'd rather beat DC to space. And technically, we already did that with Guardians, but I want more space. So I'd rather have
more
Captain.
Space has been explored than water. So
that's true.
You know,
that's true. I mean,
and they've always talked about the Submariner. I'd like to see a Submariner movie. I'm into it. But okay, so if Marvel's beat you to space, then why even fuck with space to begin with? Say, all right, cool, we're going to go underwater because, like. Look at. I mean, more people know Aquaman than Namor.
Oh yeah, I think Marvel knows that shit. It's not even a given.
I think they're not gonna. I don't think they're getting twisted around the axle about water. I think what I want them to freaking do already. I think I tweeted you guys. They need to give Sony $2 billion freaking dollars, some churros, and some Dole Whip. and call it a day so we can get Galactus and the Silver Surfer.
Hey, first off, I got that Dole Whip. I just had that this weekend.
I mean,
That's
and you
amazing.
Send them some damn Dole Whip.
I mean, look, I think me, Joe, and Sam, and Prime, we were talking about that in our Guardians 2 thing, and I was like, yeah, at some point, Marvel's gonna throw some money at Fox and be like, hey, run them Fantastic Four rights. It just we're good, But what is
that entitled though? Because I don't know too much about it, but I hear people say like if the property isn't used after a while, then it has to return back to Marvel.
Long story short, at least with Fantastic Four, they got until 2019 to do something. So if
nothing's happening there. If the Galactus Cloud thing that happened, nobody's going to remember that ever.
Put it this way, if they don't have a script by the end of the year, there's no way you're going to tell me they can fast track something for 2018. So them shits are going back to Marvel. It's going back to Marvel.
And the thing is, Sony lost $1 billion. They're in $1 billion deficit, and that's when I said give them a check for $2 or $3 billion, and just let them call it a day or something. It's just like.
But you know what's funny about the space argument is. Space is cool and Guardians are cool, and I didn't really think that the last movie was all that great, but it's cool, and that and DC can come back with Green Lantern Corps and let's see what they can do in space. But the difference is you're talking about a guy that controls the world that he lives in. He has ultimate control of water and the creatures around it. So the Guardians go into space. Ego could kind of control space, but you threw him away. So Thanos doesn't control space.
Yeah.
But then you have Galactus and the power cosmic. If we can that's
an if. But they don't technically own anyone.
If we can't get space, then we focus back on Earth.
Yeah. At this point, honestly, the only thing the MCU has, they still got Celestials. They can use the other Celestials. Right. So even though Ego's dead, it's like, well, they got other Celestials they can use.
And they hinted at that. And they hinted at the other Celestials.
Back to Joe's point,
Marvel focus with their villains is one at a time, so no reason to even talk about Galactus for another 5-10 years, as far as that. But it will be good to see the Silver Surfer and the Fantastic Four have some say in Infinity War,
But back to Joe's point, though, he has a point. They beat him to the punch. They did beat him to the punch with the woman thing, which, is Marvel kicking themselves that they didn't fast track a Black Widow movie? Possibly, but at the same time, it's like, would it have the same impact as Wonder Woman, though?
No, dude, Captain Marvel's cool. Captain Marvel's not shit compared to Wonder Woman.
Not at all.
But I think that I think she will at some point, though, and that's why I'm fine with them saying, hey, Captain Marvel's their first.
She'll never be on the level of Wonder Woman.
Wait.
Agreed.
We're forgetting one thing. Yes, technically, and we talked about this before. We talked about this after Suicide Squad, is that you have to remember you don't know what Marvel can do with the characters they have. Again, remember, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor were B-level characters.
Yeah.
And now we consider them on par with Batman and all of them.
You can even take it a step further. Guardians of the Galaxy are pretty much C to D-level nobodies. And made tons of money.
Well, if you're talking,
became relevant.
If you're talking icons, I don't know if they're going to reach that level because that's like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. They had like a 50-year head start.
You have to separate the comic book world and the movie world. We're talking about the movies.
Oh yeah.
And when it comes to MCUs and DCUs, technically Batman, Iron Man, and Tony and Cap, they're on the same level when we're talking about the movies. So. When we're talking about the villains, okay, we're talking, or like if we just go back a little bit to the villains, yes, we don't have Galactus, yes, we don't have A, B, and C, but you don't know, they can do like how they did Nemo, Baron Nemo, Zemo, I think he's kind of a bit of a joke. Daniel Gruhl made him an amazing character who's still alive, if you remember, for once he's still alive. Who knows who they're going to pull?
But if you ask somebody who watched Civil War, the casual movie audience, hey, did you like Baron Zemo? They'd say, who?
Yeah, that's true, and I think maybe because of how they played the character up as being very low key.
Right. If they had slapped the costume on him and all that other bullshit, he'd be more. I like the character, and I hope he comes back. But like,
I would have laughed at him.
Somebody the other day.
I would have laughed at him if he
give him an updated, Marvel-esque costume. But no one, the general movie audience that watched Civil War isn't like, oh fuck, I can't wait for Zemo to come back. They're like, who the fuck is that guy?
Well, I'm not saying that he comes back. I'm just saying that they have still a roster of other villains that they can use in the meantime before they get the big bads. That's all I'm saying.
You're right, but they've used heavy hitters and haven't done shit with them.
That's
Case
true.
in point, Red Skull. Red Skull is one of the best villains they have. He's
still in the wind.
He's worse than Hitler in the comics. And they kind of were like, we don't know what's going to happen to him. He could, maybe he comes back for Civil War. I don't know, but like,
I'm still
they took
mad
that
about
character and they were like,
yeah. I mean,
how about this? How about the Mandarin?
Like you said, they audibled on that one, and I agree with you on that one. They did audible, so now he's out there somewhere we don't know, and
he's out in the wind. I'm still mad about Ronan the Accuser. I'm still pissed about that.
But this brings up a good point. If everybody has reserves on all the villains right now, do we have confidence that Thanos is going to be like used legitly in Infinity War?
We'll see.
I don't think they'll kill him because we don't have anybody.
Yeah, but going back though, like, I wasn't too mad about Black Widow not getting a movie because I think, and maybe because it's the nature of social media, having that opinion. Some people were like, "Oh, you just don't want." It's like, no, it's not the point. It's just like you read comics over the years. It's not to say you can't do a Black Widow movie, but like,
what's the point now?
I feel Marvel, and maybe I'm just thinking. I'm not saying this is how Marvel was thinking, but I think from Marvel's perspective, it's like, okay, sure, we can give 80 million, 100 million to a Black Widow movie, and it probably would do good because hey, the Marvel name, obviously. But like, would it have that impact? Like Wonder Woman?
No.
Like, would it have that impact that Wonder Woman has versus if we say, hey, you know what? Let's do Captain Marvel, who is a very powerful fucking character in her own right, anyways. And we could probably do something more with that character and might get close to an impact that Wonder Woman has.
No. You know why Black Widow's dead in the water? Because Lucy and Ghost in the Shell.
Thank you. I was just about to say that.
That too. Nobody wants to say it, but that's true.
They're not gonna throw fucking $20 at a movie with. And I like the Black Widow and I like Scarlett Johansson. I'm not shitting on her, but I'm saying like your window for that solo movie is fucking gone.
Yeah,
gone.
It was technically phase one is when it should have happened. If you really wanted to hit while lightning was hot.
They're not going to do a Scarlet Witch movie like Captain Marvel is their best hope, but the reason and what's today? Fucking June 7th. Remember my predictions, the web wings and all that shit.
Yeah.
Here's I'm calling it right now. Captain Marvel comes out. They fucking kill it. Right, the movie kills it. But it doesn't touch Wonder Woman for one simple reason. Wonder Woman, like Superman, just wants to do good for good's sake. There's no, well, this person died and I have to. Wonder Woman, especially how they portrayed her in this movie, especially with the shit that's coming out, in the world today. Mm-hmm. You need that character. You need that portrayal. She just wants to help. She's just here to do good because that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Captain Marvel isn't that character unless they completely fucking retcon her and all that bullshit.
Well, that depends on the version too, because there is a version of her that is. I mean, let's be real about this. Carol is military. She's hard nosed. Yes. So, like you said, I mean, just in that sense, I don't know if she has the same sensibilities like Diana does as a soldier. She's just a soldier and she's straight edge like a soldier. So. Yeah, sure, Carol will do the right thing, but she's also so by the books that there's a bit of kind of like, hey.
But I've seen that movie with Captain America. So now, like, and trust me, like, I want to see Captain Marvel, especially Brie Larson. Like, I want to see it. But the earnest nature of Wonder Woman and the naive nature and just how she was portrayed, people. You need that more right now than a soldier that just wants to go fuck shit up because she has superpowers, which is cool. It's cool, and I want to see it. I love Captain America, but like Wonder Woman represents something that we don't have. You know, people that just want to do good. And that's why, as big as Captain Marvel's going to be, and as much as they're going to just put her on fucking everything, she's not going to touch Wonder Woman.
Now, be honest with you.
I'm telling you right now.
Now, to be honest with you, though, if Marvel and Disney had the X-Men license, I think Storm will probably be a best bet. If you really,
oh my god,
Storm is actually, if you're talking in terms of Marvel like characters and stuff, Storm is way more well known than like Captain Marvel or any character.
Yeah.
Period.
Sure.
But could she touch Wonder Woman?
No, and
she beat her in the comics. She beat her in the DC versus Marvel comic. Dead serious.
Get the fuck out of here.
For Marvel, how many solo movies even exist anymore? Every movie now is going to be Thor with the Hulk.
If they
blah 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 blah
blah. If Captain Marvel is successful, I think Ms. Marvel, Kamala, would be a good standalone movie. I think it'd be a great. There's 2 standalone movies I would kill to see. Live action would be Ms. Marvel. I think that would be a great coming of age high school.
But would they do it though? And I think that's why I really like Joe's point. Wonder Woman held its own as Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. The complete origin story of her with nobody else involved. No Batman was mentioned, but it wasn't a Batman movie, which they could have ultimately did. Which Suicide Squad ultimately was a Joker movie. So they imposed their will on doing such like that.
Look, man, they made an Ant-Man movie that focused on Ant-Man. Sure, the Falcon was there for 10 minutes for a fight, but it was still an Ant-Man movie.
Standalone.
But see now look at Spider-Man, which should be Marvel's most profitable character. Could ultimately turn into a Tony Stark's movie.
Whoa. Let's back that up for a second here.
That.
Here's the thing.
You don't know that.
And Civil War, which was a Captain America movie, ultimately became a Spider-Man movie.
Here's the kicker about that, though, right? As much as Civil War, you could say on paper, it might came off as Avenger 2.0 or whatever and stuff. Look at what the focus of the story was. Yeah, sure, the Avengers were there, but the focus was still on what? Cap, Bucky, and their stuff. So even though the Avengers, it didn't deter from the overall goal of what the movie is about. It's about Captain America.
The focal point of that movie was fucking bromance.
Yeah, it was bromance. Yeah. I will agree. I will definitely agree with that. It was about bromance and stuff. So even though Thor Ragnarok has Hulk and it is like they say a road trip, it's still focused on Thor trying to figure out what the fuck happened, and everything in his dad and stuff. So it's I think with Captain Marvel, they're going to keep it standalone. Sure, you're going to have, they might, who knows, who knows Easter eggs they're going to throw in there.
Oh my god, I feel terrible. Doctor Strange was a standalone movie.
Yeah,
it was straight up standalone. Doctor Strange, and not until the last minute. It was standalone, and it was Thor that showed up. So
I think they, and like I said, Marvel, I think they don't want to do the thing where it's every move. Because I think with Thor, it's a situation where it's you know what, it makes sense for Hulk and Thor to team up because one, you got to do something with Hulk. You can't just he disappeared off in space and and all that stuff. So that makes sense. But I think with Captain Marvel, I think it will stand alone as its own thing. Now, if it gets to a point where all of a sudden we'd be like Captain Marvel with special guest appearance by Tony Stark, and it's come on, don't do this to me, It's
but you know that like Miss Marvel, she's not a big enough name among because and unfortunately a lot of these studios they still have to cater to the average moviegoer. That's like Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the Mickey Mouse of Marvel. He's the Mickey Mouse of Marvel. He's arguably. I still maintain he's the most beloved comic book character in history.
Oh, still popular.
But
Batman and Superman are divisive. Spider-Man, I don't know one person doesn't love him.
Yeah,
that's why it makes all the money. That's why that's why
it make all the money for him to be in Civil War in all the trailers. It was important for him to show that.
Yeah, but you just said there you go. You said one of the reasons people love Wonder Woman so much, because that's what we were talking about, how somehow it devolved into Marvel.
Hey, it happens. It's healthy discussions.
You said one of the reasons people love this movie so much, and the reason people love Diana so much, and you're right, and me included, is because she just had a great heart. That was one of the things about this movie. It shows as strong as she is, as powerful she is, as fierce as a warrior she is, she has got a beautiful big heart. Yeah. And she wants to help people. And I've noticed, at least lately, that's who Kamala is.
Yeah, I think that helps her. That helps her more than Carol. You're right on that one.
That helps her. But think about her name Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. They're going to have to either, I think if they put Miss Marvel in a movie, it will be an ensemble movie. And then if that's successful, then they'll spend, because people are going to be like, wait, I thought we just saw Captain Marvel. No, this is Miss Marvel. It's different.
Yeah,
it's a different thing.
Oh, yeah. Because people are dumb.
People are dumb, but I
Captain
think
Marvel. Not thinking about that one.
Yeah, they'll put her in a movie or a TV show, or like you'll see her in live action for sure. But it's batshit crazy to be like, all right, we're just gonna make a 100 million Miss Marvel movie. People don't know who she really is because again, in the name Marvel, like a lot of people think Captain Marvel is Shazam, so that kind of name is fucking him up too. Like,
I'll say this though, if we're gonna go on Wonder Woman though, if you talk DC women, I want to see Big Barda.
Oh, dude, the New Gods.
Yeah, I need to see New Gods. I want to see her. I want to see her and Wonder Woman go at it.
Dude, I am praying to the gods because they said Aquaman's in production, but Justice League will determine how these movies proceed. Like, they're still going to make them, but it'll determine like the timeline, the speed that they make them at, yada yada yada. Like, I hope, and I think Wonder Woman is going to elevate Justice League fucking tenfold.
Oh, they're already doing reshoots,
like,
and I'm pretty sure they're like, we need more Wonder Woman in this movie. So let's do this.
And like, and I saw Cavill on Instagram going like, well, you know what I mean? He's back in the costume, so I guarantee you they're like, you know what? We probably need more Superman and more Wonder Woman because maybe there wasn't whatever, but Wonder Woman's success will now elevate Justice League to probably bigger than it could have been.
Hopefully.
And that, hopefully, will now elevate the DCEU to
a happy world. That's what we want. That's what we want.
Dude,
in a hopeful world.
Yeah, I mean,
give me the Cyborg movie and give me the fucking Green Lantern movie.
Green Lantern needs all the juice it can get. There's a sour taste out there. A lot of people I would love.
Dude, I don't even think it's arguable. Like, if you're just talking historically in terms of importance, DC holds the three most important characters.
Oh yeah, I mean they have the advantage over Marvel in the fact that they have all their characters, so they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly. So it's like, what are you going to do with it? You know what I mean? Like,
I just hope they don't squander it. Because it's like, that's, like I said, I brought up Big Barda. That's a perfect opportunity. Like you said, bring New Gods in. Now you got like Baby Themyscira beefing with the New Gods somehow. I don't know. I mean, you got something there.
But I like, when she was saying about space, like, I'm glad they went into space and I love it, but I'm glad they're going underwater because they're not trying to fucking do the same thing. If DC were just trying to do what Marvel's doing, I'd be like, I don't want to see this shit. Like, I've already seen it, But now,
did for a minute. That's what they did before Wonder Woman came out.
And Joe, do you think that's the reason why the movies were slated in the order they were?
Yeah.
To totally be on different plans.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. I think a lot of us, and I'm just gonna say, a lot of us reasonable adults, we were like, okay, look, I'm fine with DC doing their thing. My thing is this, like, don't ham-fist yourself for the sake of, like, doing this world. Because that was, if anything, if you were asking me what my real beef with Batman v Superman was, it was like, yo, I didn't need to see Bruce have a vision of Flash doing some Infinite Crisis shit. I didn't need that. I really didn't. I didn't need that. Like, don't put that in there. Like, I don't mind if you give me a scene where Wonder Woman pops in a floppy disk or a CD and you find out Lex Luthor been keeping tabs on Cyborg and Flash. I don't mind that. It's hokey, but it's like, whatever, I'll take that. But I don't need Bruce dreaming up, the New Gods and Apocalypse. I didn't need that. It was way more unnecessary than I need to. Because then now you're tying all this shit in that was unnecessary to whatever narrative you were trying to do in this movie. It was just ridiculous and stuff. Because again, I don't mind what you're doing. Again, Suicide Squad, very bland ass movie. Really thinking about it and stuff. They also, another movie, shoehorned so much shit because it wanted to be part of this world, and you didn't have to. You didn't have to. You honest to God didn't have to. And that was really my only beef with how DC's been going about it. It's like, yo, I don't mind if you guys are going a different way. Fuck it. If you want to go Justice League after 3 movies, fine. But just don't ham-fist shit in there for sake of ham-fisting shit in there. Just don't do that.
But think of it like this too, like, because again, you always hear like DC copied Marvel. Not really, just because they came out after. Of course, you're going to say that. Right. But tell me the Marvel movie that came out before the little movie called Superman in the 70s.
Yeah.
What was that Marvel movie called? It didn't exist. Yeah. So Marvel could have seen, you know what? Fuck, man, these superhero movies are successful. Superman 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever.
Yeah, it took Blade. It took fucking Blade to do that shit,
dude. And remember Supergirl? So DC has now... Hey, listen, I didn't say it was a good movie. I didn't say it was a good movie.
We do not speak of such things.
I didn't say it was a good movie, but then neither was Iron Man 3. You know what I mean? Like, so, but they did Supergirl.
It ain't on a par of Supergirl, but I see your point.
DC still had the balls to be like, let's just do a female superhero. It didn't work out so well, but at least they tried.
And also you get Canon Films to do your damn Supergirl movie. That's another mistake too.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But like this whole DC's copying Marvel. Are they?
Yeah,
Are they?
I mean, it was like I think that's the whole thing when you go back to Wonder Woman. It's like, you know what? I think Marvel, they're learning a lesson on the fact that, and it was cool because Chris Evans was the one that was congratulating Gal Gadot, like, yo, congrats, your movie is blowing it up, it's good. And like you said, it goes back to what you said, Joe. It's like they both want to see others succeed, because let's be real about this. Wonder Woman opens the doors for these studios to not give any more damn excuses on why you can't have a woman-led superhero movie. There's no excuses.
The competition raises it raises the stakes. So now that DC has come out, everyone was shitting on these movies suck. Then Wonder Woman comes out and it's universally praised. Now the Marvel purists and the nerds are like, well, fuck, what do you guys got? And it doesn't have to be a competition. It can just be like, well, they just showed it could be done.
Yeah, and that's why
and
that's exactly why I never tripped off of them not giving us a Black Widow movie, because I'm like, let's keep it 100 here. People, to me, I don't feel it's going to resonate as much as Wonder Woman did. And that's just honest. That's just straight up honesty. And like I said, I got shit for it, but I didn't care, because I'm like, yo, Black Widow doesn't resonate. Even though, yeah, people know Black Widow, but it doesn't resonate with Wonder Woman. It's a name. People know Wonder Woman. That's why
they would be better off.
You keep bringing up Black Widow
because
what stories to be told here.
But that's the thing. Everybody brought it up, and I was like,
I want to know what the red in the ledger is, and I want to know what the hell happened in Budapest.
That's the thing. But that's the thing. I told people.
So it becomes an origin story that nobody wants.
And that's what I told people, because I'm like,
pretty much.
It could be a mini. I wish the movie. Stop shaking your head at me. I wish the movies and TV were closer. Then they could just do like a three part, mini thing. That would be cool.
But I think that they're getting close to that, because I think it was also from what I heard that was inner politics at work on why they couldn't do it, and they're getting better now.
That might be a good reason why Inhumans has been pushed back, but it's still sort of happening,
But that's my thing, and then that's why the only reason why DC gets it out on not having their TV and movies there is because of one thing: the Flash TV show and introducing us to the multiverse. So at this point, it's like, hey, we got multiverses, so it don't even fucking matter. I don't need to know. I mean, it don't even matter. I don't need to know now.
But Black Widow is like, if you're gonna tell her story, do it on Netflix.
Yeah,
that's what I said. I said it too. I was like, yo, just one season.
Do one season. Boom. Do that. We can finally get Coulson and them and Hawkeye, and we can finally find out what the hell happened in Budapest.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But it's like
but no one is paying to see that movie.
Yeah,
no one.
And that's why I told people, I was like, if you look at that's been the MCU gold standard. It's like, look, they had to work with no X-Men, and they had to work with no Spider-Man. So they were already up there. They're operating at a handicap. So at this point, if you look at the MCU and who they have, Captain Marvel is the closest to an interesting character that has actual powers. I mean, you can say She-Hulk, so that's Captain Marvel, She-Hulk. You got Monica Rambeau, which I'm pretty sure when they do this Captain Marvel movie, they're going to probably introduce Monica Rambeau. She's powerful. So that's already 3 women right there. If they had the X-Men license, well, shit, you have Jean Grey and you have Storm. You have more to work with.
Right now, we may not even want to see Jean Grey, because
I know. I just threw the name out. I just threw the name out there. I didn't say you had to use her.
Dude, I'd rather see. I think the female characters on the Netflix show are far more interesting than the ones in the movies.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, hell, even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I mean, fucking Quake, she's fucking...
I don't watch that.
Oh, no, she's an interesting character, but like you said, I mean, hey, I like Jessica Jones. I want to see more Misty Knight. I want to see Colin Wing. I want to see that shit. I want to see that. So it's like...
But I think the shows on TV, the characters on TV fit the way they're doing it. I don't know, it just seems to fit for TV, and I'm fine with that. And But anyways, I thought we were talking about Wonder Woman.
Sorry, yeah, exactly. But yeah, like
Dude, Wonder Woman is it's the perfect thing to happen across the board, because now it breathes new life into the Warner Brothers DC franchise. You know,
Yes.
people will stop finally shitting on Justice League, like, oh my God,
Oh no, I'm sorry,
man.
It still gotta happen, though. It still has to happen.
I'm gonna be honest. I finally saw the trailer. I felt nothing. Even I'm gonna be honest. I got burnt so bad with Suicide Squad. I had sworn not to give another
Wonder Woman
red
gives
cent.
me hope. It's hope,
But that's what I'm saying about is, as angry as I was with Man of Steel, and as pissed off as I was about Suicide Squad, I was like, I'm not giving Warner Brothers or DC not one more red cent. And then I was determined. I was not giving a goddamn dime.
Hey, I did the same thing with Logan, and I got fucked for a fourth time.
I love Logan.
I'm just going to go off the record. Transformers will not be getting a cent from me in a couple of weeks.
But,
you know what's funny? We warned Joe, and he did it anyway.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was like, we warned Joe about Logan. I was like, hey Joe, just saying, Logan.
Man, I saw that movie because my stepdad wanted to see it. That movie was a fucking piece of shit, and it those movies just get it's like, you know what? We like them because he killed people. Yeah, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good. He fought a fucking clone. He fought a fucking. You mean to tell me they're sitting around in that movie going, okay, it's his last movie. It's rated R. The last time. It only took us, 17 years to get it right with rated R, but no big deal. The last time Hugh Jackman is going to play this character, and we're going to make it dark, and we're going to make it gritty. We could do Mr. Sinister. We could do Cyber. We could do Omega Red. No, I got an idea. Let's make him fight a younger version of himself and a bunch of redneck fucking special ops guys. Perfectly. Fuck that movie. And let's have him protect a little girl that very clearly does not need protecting. And then let's kill him off. Yeah, no, that movie was fantastic.
He's not dead.
And hence it goes full circle back to tomorrow, basically saying, I don't trust DC, but Wonder Woman gives me hope. It's hope.
It gave me hope. But the thing is, I had hope, but I kept it to myself because I saw the trailer and I was like, wow. But I was scared. And then I wasn't going to pay for this movie. And the only reason I'm going to be honest, the only reason I went to see Wonder Woman the first time was because my friend called me, said, I got 2 tickets to the screening. Will you come with me? Because they won't let me come because in New York, the screen's there. If you ask for a +2 and you don't have a +1 and you don't have your +1, they won't give you the ticket. So she begged me. She begged me to come. And I was like, fine, you want to see it, I'll go. And then that's when you guys saw the whole cast showed up with Patty Jenkins, and so I was there with a bunch of DC stans, and it was great. I was like, okay. But then I saw the Justice League trailer, and all I can look is that crap cyborg armor, that crap Flash armor, and I'm like, I still don't care about you, Bruce. So the only person I care about is hot Dow, the cow, what's his face from Game of Thrones, and Gal.
Hey, they got Whedon on board. I have a smidge of hope.
So I wanted to bring that up too. So with him coming to do to finish up Justice League, and you say he's doing is he doing reshoots or?
Oh, no, okay, so basically, quick backstory. It was basically apparently. He actually was on the movie. He's been on the movie for a while. It's just Zack Snyder just now stepped down because of that situation and stuff. So there's a possibility that much like how it was with, sad to say this, Alien Resurrection, where Whedon had a hand in that movie, and you could definitely if you know Whedon's writing, there is hints of his writing in Alien Resurrection. I'm pretty sure you're going to get hints of Whedon in Justice League, and he definitely is going to have a hand in those reshoots.
So, and the other thing is too, he's also doing Catwoman,
Batgirl.
Okay, yeah.
I wait until I see the pre-production start before I even believe that's happening. That's how I'm taking it.
But I have a question. Why I get Flash complaint because why the fuck is he wearing armor? But what's wrong with Cyborg?
I think it's one of those things where it's like
looks-
he should, at least for me, I was expecting him to look
More human than
no,
not.
just see. I'm gonna say bulkier, and I don't mean in the muscle sense, but just more in like
more of his traditional style. He looks
traditional
more.
style
He,
a little
look,
bit.
he looks more Power Rangers
There's-
out right now.
He looks. There seems to be a lot
But
of
I need to
negative
see it in
space.
motion. I need to see
It
it in
looks
motion.
like the middle's like all red. It looks like a lot of negative space. I don't like it.
Does
But let
his
me
armor-
let me
does
ask
his
you guys
armor-
this.
Does his armor change? Because I have a poster. No, I'm sorry. I have a screensaver at my job with him. Looks one way there, then he looks another way in the trailer. So did they change it or something?
I mean, this part where he's flying in space and he puts on the mask, that's not a comic book thing. I think that's a movie thing.
Well, wait a minute. I have
Oh.
a question for you guys because I'm always curious about this kind of. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we so spoiled by these movies that we can't sit back and go, oh, that's just like the first version? Because Cyborg is a living machine. He's
That
a
is
living
true.
machine. And hold on. And in Batman vs Superman, we saw footage of basically a fucking torso and a head being fused with a mother box, right? A mother box is alien technology, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So we don't really know how far after Batman vs Superman Justice League takes place, but let's say, relatively soon, because they're still reeling from Superman's death, et cetera, et cetera. So can we not just say, look, this kid who was a football player got fused with alien technology and is still kind of learning the ropes of how to control his body? Maybe he's going to look a little different than he's going to look when he's like this ultra hardcore badass. It's like, no, the first time I see him, he has to look the same way it's like,
I think
what?
it's first impressions.
Why can't-
I think it's first impressions because
you know
it's like
what?
if like when good example, Captain America: First Avenger, when we saw the trailer, I wasn't expecting them to like have him into like the traditional comic costume because it would look very fucking ridiculous and stuff. It would,
Right.
And but like when they showed the trailer and he had like the different version of it, I was like, okay. I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to see how it looks in motion. I'm like, okay, I need to see it in motion before I judge. It looks different. That's how I am with Cyborg, where it's like I'm complaining, but it's like, okay, I want to see how it looks in motion before I even like.
But here's
Go
my
full
argument:
tilted
is this guy is basically a living machine, right? So Iron Man is a guy that builds a suit of armor, puts it on, et cetera, et cetera. It's equivalent to saying, well, in the first Iron Man movie, I want him to have all the upgrades and all the weapons that he's ever going to have.
Oh, no,
but then
hell
saying, well, he hasn't encountered those characters to build those weapons to upgrade himself. So he has to encounter the Mandarin or whoever else to go, you know what, I need a weapon for this. Cyborg is a living machine.
Mm-hmm.
He essentially is, if you look at him, he's very like skeletal looking.
Yeah.
So how
I see. So you think he's going to mature?
But how can you? Yeah. So how can you expect him to go? Oh well, I need armor
it's like
here.
Justice-
I need this
if it-
here.
Yeah.
if it's
That's
like
a good
Justice
point.
League War, I don't know if y'all saw the cartoon.
Yeah.
I did low key notice that over the course of that movie, Cyborg did kind of sort of evolve because he was looking very messed up when he initially got like those transplants, and then over the course of the movie, his body started like forming into stuff as he was fighting. And so I'm like, okay, I see where you're going with it, Joe, because it's like,
But
First
to make the
impressions is
argument,
definitely
look at the Marvel characters again. Look at Iron Man's armor from Iron Man 1 to Civil War. Look at Captain America's armor from Captain America 1 to Civil War. Every single one of them has gone substantial upgrades.
I still shit
Look
on
at
his
Iron
Avengers
Man.
costume though. That first Avengers movie,
I
I shit on that all day.
Which one, Cap?
Yeah, Caps is from Avengers 1. Oh, I shit on that one all day.
But it's 1940s tech.
No. I'm talking about the main Avengers movie, not first.
Oh, the
Avengers.
Avengers, the main
Oh, yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah, I shit on the main
Right.
Avengers.
So-
It was.
So that
I
costume
do,
is garbage.
and I don't.
It's garbage.
It is costume,
So
but I think
look
it's
at
on
him
purpose.
look at him in Avengers, and then look at him in Civil War. There's different armor. There's different padding.
Yeah.
Look at his knuckles. His
Because
knuckles are
totally-
armored now.
Hell, even
Because
Age of Ultron.
But because you have to remember who was making the costume the first time. The first time Shield was doing it. The second time Tony did it.
I'm gonna say it again.
Right, but think of it like
first
this.
Impressions.
The first time you see Cyborg, he's on his own. He's just learning how to use his powers. Wait till Bruce gets a hold of him. Wait till his dad gets a hold of him and says, "Wait a minute."
And I'm just saying,
you know,
yeah.
It's just, to me, those complaints they're a tad hypocritical, because it's like, why are you expecting this guy to look the same at the beginning as he's going to look at the end? Can't we just give a little bit of wiggle room for progression? Because here's the thing: if he looks kind of weak in the beginning, but let's say at the end of the movie, Bruce tells him, like, you could da-da-da-da, and he comes out with some fucking cannon and some big ass legs, and he's all bulky, everyone's gonna shut the fuck up and go, "Oh yeah, no, I knew." That's the way.
That's true. That's true. Can't even lie.
In the meantime, as someone who's subjected to who has to look at that, it's still ugly.
Oh yeah, I mean, but
wait a minute. You don't have to look at it. Yeah. You choose to look at it. You don't have to look at it.
So what you're telling me is I need to turn off my internet, my Twitter, everything. Because I'm a geek. I'm a black geek. So
I don't like the X-Men movies. All I heard was that they're doing more of them. I couldn't tell you anything about them. I don't pay attention to them. I don't give a fuck about those movies. I don't pay attention to them.
If I insist on associated with you guys and the stuff you keep putting out on my
This is true. This is very much true.
Then I have to see it. I don't have a choice.
Let me ask you this. Have you guys tweeted anything about, like, new X-Men movies? Have you guys talked anything about that, like, on Twitter?
Nah, bro. Like,
Okay.
You know me. I tapped out. But you know me. I also will throw out some fucking... Like, I kind of have eased up on Bex. I have kind of eased up on some of the smaller stuff.
So if you have, I don't know. Because I don't care about those. You know what I mean? So, like, I follow you guys, and I watch the other stuff, and I listen to the other stuff. But as soon as you start talking about that shit, I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to see it because I don't care.
Like mute.
Yeah. So I don't have to. I don't have to pay attention to anything. Like, I don't like the Flash's look. Oh well, it'll change. It's made to look like suspension armor. He made it. Wait till Bruce gets a hold of him.
It's like, dude, you don't need this armor. It's like, you don't need this armor, dog. Just spandex, you're good.
It's one of those, just chill. Let's just see what happens. The first impressions, I don't like Cyborg. I do like the Flash's first look, and I think Aquaman is just kind of urban sort of style.
I think all of us, we're not writing it off. It's just like, okay, first impressions, I'm like, okay, hopefully it improves. I think it will. Like I said, for all the shit people give Snyder, it's like, look, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt and see how it pans out. Because I know a lot of people that went overboard with him was like, man, the Flash looking like this, fuck this movie. It's like, hey guys, just chill, just see how it goes. Because here's the kicker.
Not only that, since what's his name from people were also writing the Flash off because what's his name from the TV show wasn't playing him at first.
I understood it until, like, I had to really think about it. I was like, look, it's a multiverse. Once you accept that it's a multiverse,
people before that was explained, before that was before both parties came out,
I knew that logic even before they even said it. So I accepted, like, it's a different universe. I don't care.
Yeah,
but you know what? When I saw Cyborg, the first thing I thought was, I'm like, oh my god! I was like, holy shit! They've got Cyborg in a live action movie. How cool is that? It wasn't like,
for what we got, I will admit straight up, it looked close to what I wanted it to be. It could have looked a lot worse.
I think as fans of comic book movies and the genre and the history, we are so spoiled that we're so quick to complain about shit that if you kind of sit back and you think about it, you're like, name one movie where the character has looked the same across the board. Captain America? Nope. Iron Man? Nope. Even the Hulk? Nope. Even Deadpool, I guarantee you there will be subtle changes to his costume. I guarantee it.
No, you're right. I mean, it's just the nature of it. And plus, if they stayed the same, people would complain about that too. So
so it's like, I don't like the way the Flash looks. Like, I'm the first person to be like, what the fuck is he wearing? But it's like, holy shit. Like, they've actually got the Flash in a movie. And the action sequences of him running look fucking outstanding.
See, and I think that's a key thing. It's like, I have to get you, because like I said, you're used to one version of Flash. It's like, I have to get used to, because like I said, a trailer, it didn't give me much to see how Flash necessarily operates, because there's all these jump cuts, and it's like, okay, I gotta see how he runs in motion, because it's just slow motion shots from the trailer. It's like, I gotta see him actually do this shit.
I learned my lesson from Heath Ledger and I learned my lesson from James Bond. Don't talk shit before you see the movie, because then you're going to have to go back and eat your words. You know what I mean? Like, I was so wrong about Heath Ledger, and I was so wrong about Daniel Craig. But do you think it's a better feeling? You know, I won't say a better feeling, but if you talk shit about a movie and then you actually do walk out liking it, isn't that what you actually go to the movies for?
Yeah, you kind of want to be proven. The mysterious unknown. You want to be proven wrong, and I mean, look.
Everybody talk. I remember the day Marvel Studios said they were doing Guardians of the Galaxy. I had friends who were livid. Why? And a lot of them talking about, why aren't we getting Black Widow? Oh. Why aren't we getting a Black Widow movie, but we're getting Guardians? I remember people who were so angry, and ridiculous. Now they're the ones to be talking stuff. But again, to reiterate, Cyborg's costume is trash, and we're supposed to be talking about Wonder Woman.
All I'm saying is this.
I just have to say that, back to the Wonder Woman thing, and sort of say on the same lines of this, is like I say, when Gal Gadot was announced that she was going to play Wonder Woman, I was just like, oh no, it's not going to work.
I was skeptical.
And then the fact that I did not like that she was introduced in Batman versus Superman. I thought they could have did without it, or could have been the surprise element in the movie instead of putting her in the trailers as part of all the promotions. I also think that she gave her 5 minutes of shine in the movie. I thought she gave such a sample dosage that I still didn't know what to expect for Wonder Woman. So going into Wonder Woman completely like open-minded, and you know, Hans Zimmer wasn't doing the score, so still my feeling about that. The effects, who was going to be the villain, all this, because I didn't look into it at all. I just was completely open that this was going to be the start for DC movies to actually start on a come up for their television, for them to actually catch up with their television or animated movies, to all just be good stuff being put out for them across the board. That it was such a great feeling walking out saying like, damn, they fucking knocked that out the park. It was executed good on all accounts. Like literally me and Chris, when we left at the theaters, when you go to a screening, you know too, you go to a screening, you're there 2-3 hours early, hour commute, not eating. And the movie theater we went to, fucking customer service was trash. We didn't know nothing about lining up. It was so unorganized. It was pissing me off. And the thing is, you know, you get scared because you never know how many seats they're going to have.
Yes.
There's a story to that too. But yeah, so we get there and we get out the movie. So we already been in Baltimore for about 6 hours now. We literally talked for another 30 to 45 minutes about the movies. And that's what it's all about, if you ask me, when a movie does its job for the fans.
Like, we walked out, we got this surprise because you guys saw, like, my friend said, will you come with me? And I said, sure. It came from my long-ass commute from Brooklyn, ran home, changed, grabbed a hot dog, went down to the movie theater. We stood in line, and again, like you said, we don't know if we got any seats. We finally got in. We were supposed to get, like, gauntlets, the little thing, and a shirt. All we got was a shirt. We ran up to the balcony, no seats in the balcony. We ran down. And there's all these reserve seating. We're like, crap. Then all of a sudden, the people are pulling the reserve seating off. Now everybody came. So we actually got good seats. We're like, score. And I told the security guy, hey, do I have time to run to the bathroom? I don't know, but go. I made it. Like a minute and a half, I made it. Came back, got the seats. Movie's supposed to start at 7. Okay, it's 7:10. What the hell's going on?
Same with us.
And then all of a sudden, we have a surprise for you. And that's when Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot and Chris and crazy. Robin Wright showed up, and we're like, holy crap. And that totally amped up the whole atmosphere.
Yeah.
I walked out praising a DC movie, and I was like, you're right. I've been talking trash about DC for 3-4 years now, and I was scared. The San Diego Comic-Con teaser gave me hope. But then remember last year that email that got leaked or something?
Yeah.
I was terrified. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
But in the end, we've got a movie with $300 plus million, you know, one of the highest rated movies for a female, a woman. Mm-hmm. Until A Wrinkle in Time comes out, just saying.
Anything Ava, Disney is just going to kill in the box office.
I mean, you got Ava, and I loved those books since I was a girl. I have adored those books, so I'm super excited. Another movie around a young girl, so I think that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, I guess if we're gonna wrap this up, it's basically like this. All right, we got hope for you, DC. Pay Patty Jenkins her money. Just give her money. just for Christ's sake, just give her the money.
Give her the money. Give her the role. Give her the work environment.
I mean,
I think I'm excited, man. Like I didn't absolutely love Suicide Squad. I saw what they were trying to do. But it was like, man, you kind of zagged when you should have zagged.
Yeah.
But there were parts of that movie that I did really like. I really liked Jared Leto. That's why I want to see more of them. Like, I really like Harley Quinn, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Man of Steel, I still think is underrated. Like, if you don't see what they were trying to do in that movie, then I would argue maybe you don't understand the character, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, I think Wonder Woman, it hasn't given me hope. It's just renewed I see what you guys are trying to do, and now you're on the track that I thought you'd get there.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't fuck it up.
Yes.
Like Justice League to me has the potential to knock it out of the fucking park. Absolutely knock it out of fucking park.
Yeah.
And if they do, I'm curious to see how many Marvel purists will still go, yeah, but Aquaman's gonna suck, or if they'll be like, all right, look, I didn't like the first couple, but these are pretty fucking good,
But clearly they got a vision now, finally, and that's awesome.
It's so cool that it's fucking Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean, if it had to be anybody, it had to be Wonder Woman.
I got two questions too. I noticed how you say you're getting ready to wrap up. One will be in the Harley Quinn movie that was rumored. Not sure where they're at with that as well too.
Gotham City Sirens.
But with the success of Wonder Woman. And with I won't say the success of Suicide Squad, but with the success of the Harley Quinn character and it's so a hell of a merch. Everybody was a Harley Quinn for Halloween, and ultimately can't even think of her name right now. Did a good job in playing her. Do you think it captivates the same success?
I don't know.
Considering that she's not a big character as Wonder Woman. Not the same story, but the acting was good. Which was only probably the bright moment in Suicide Squad was her. So there's a little bit of a following behind that. But do you think? Oh yeah.
I don't think that movie happens because I think David Ayer is doing Scarface, the fucking Scarface reboot of a reboot, and I don't think that happens, and I think
unless they got another writer.
I think what's going to happen now is that they're gonna sit back and look at Wonder Woman and say, you know what, let's stop announcing 700 movies.
Good point.
Yeah.
And let's focus on Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Justice League,
money
and
makers.
these other characters. Yeah, and then like Batgirl could be another big one. I don't think she'll be as big as Wonder Woman, but I don't think that Gotham City Sirens movie happens because I don't think anyone gives a shit about it. But I do think in Suicide Squad 2 you will see, because I don't think Harley was going to be in Suicide Squad 2. I think they were going to take her out and put her in Gotham City Sirens. I think now you might see Catwoman and Poison Ivy possibly introduced in Suicide Squad 2, and that's how they handle it. But for people that are like, that movie wasn't successful, that movie made almost $800 million. It topped Guardians of the Galaxy 1. So I'd say that's pretty successful for a movie that people shit on. Like,
yeah.
It made a shit ton of money.
It's one of those things where I think Suicide Squad, it was like, all right, we got something different that's not Batman and Superman. And I think that works in your favor because it's like people, let's be real about this, sometimes people get tired of Batman and Superman. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense why Suicide Squad, I think, yeah, it did make about $800 million. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
I think Wonder Woman will lead to, well, I wouldn't say fast track, but I do think that Wonder Woman will help Justice League, and then I think Justice League will help the Batman, and I think Justice League will help Man of Steel 2, possibly a Shazam movie. Batgirl, I think you'll see Black Adam pop up in Man of Steel 2. Mm-hmm. And, and then, it kind of like that Shazam Superman animated movie, I think you'll see Black Adam pop up in Man of Steel. Really, you know what I mean? Like, I think...
They're structuring Black Adam as such an anti-hero, though.
But I think they're going to... Wonder Woman will cause Warner Brothers and DC to focus more on core characters and stop announcing like Hawkman's coming in 2020.
Yeah.
Like, no one gives shit right now.
And you know
like,
what? And to that point too, I think they was kind of riding off of, hey, you may not know who this character is, but you damn sure know who this actor is. Please go see this movie. They're like, wait, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Character and actors, keep it together. Make core characters, money-making characters. Because I don't care if The Rock is playing Shazam or Black Adam, whoever it is. If nobody knows who that is, it's not going to matter. Point blank.
No, you're right. No, because that's the thing. It's like everybody knew the characters, and then when we see the actors are a good fit, then it made it even more of a draw. Like, you know what? I'm going to say it. I put Gal up there with with Iron Man and RDJ and Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. Like, I see them together, you know?
I think it's a big thing too. I mean, she was in other franchises that made a lot of money too. I mean, Fast and the Furious definitely helped.
Yeah, but I didn't remember her. I know Vin Diesel.
No. Just like Joe said, that's a pretty face that you're never going to forget.
Oh yeah. You will never forget.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't see those movies, so I didn't even.
I've seen all the movies. I didn't remember her. I didn't remember her.
I think from a guy point of view, maybe I think like, you know, when it comes to the Fast and the Furious franchise, nice car, nice piece of ass. You're never going to forget those. You're never going to forget. And that's where the marketing comes from. They said, dag, the new Dodge Charger and that chick that was driving it. I don't even remember what Vin Diesel did in that movie by the end of it.
I have a final question for you guys. Like, and this is, I'm super curious about this because everyone, you know, there's a lot of people that shit on Gal when she was cast. Chris, remember when the first picture was released and I said, that looks like Wonder Woman to me, and then CNN retweeted it because they were trying to get, like, interest, like, hey, you know, this is the new thing.
Yeah.
And then all these people were like, oh, she needs to be stronger. My personal opinion of her after seeing the movie, I would compare her to Christopher Reeve. And Chris, as much as I love Henry, and I think that fucking guy walked off the page of a comic, Christopher Reeve will always be Superman to me.
Yes.
And Gal, to me, I would put her. I get what you're saying about Iron Man, and like I can't picture anybody else, Robert Downey Jr. But Christopher Reeve, to me, literally was born to play Superman.
Yes.
Gal, I look at her now, and I say that, in my opinion, walking out of that movie, I can't picture anybody else. Like, she, to me, is Wonder Woman.
Well, I'm old school. I still see Linda Carter as my Wonder Woman.
Well,
I can see them happily cohabitating their alternate universes. Let's put it like that. Because I've heard people say they can't see. A guy said, for years, all he raved about was Linda Carter, how he would, you know, paint her toenails and all this shit. Then all of a sudden, I can't see Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. No, that's blasphemy to me. In their respective universes, they're their Wonder Womans. But you're right. When it comes to Christopher Reeve, he is Superman. Will always be Superman. But I say she is born to play this Wonder Woman, this version of Wonder Woman.
So for you two guys, what do you think? Do you now see her as like that's one? Like, to me, the mark of a character to me is like, when I read a comic, do I hear that person's voice and do I picture her? You know what I mean? Like, so is she that for Wonder Woman?
It's the whole make me the believer of that character. Yeah. And that's what she did for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you know, Joe was on the episode when we did San Diego when they first announced her in that costume, and I was like, okay, you know, the color and all that stuff aside, you know, and stuff, the way they showed the costume and stuff, I was like, I want to see how she plays out. And like I said, when I watched Batman v Superman, I'm like, that's Diana. She looks fine as hell. She came on the battlefield. She enjoyed the fight, you know. And I was like, she got me. I'm down.
So is she now Wonder? Like, can you picture anybody else? Can you picture?
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
No. This, I think that
it'll be tough, but not impossible.
Yeah. How much of the work did she do in the movie?
She did a lot, from what I understand. She trained she legit
hard. She legit actually trained and stuff. I mean,
she's such a badass. She did reshoots while she was fucking pregnant.
Yeah.
So she did a lot of her own stuff, like minus the sliding
Oh yeah, clearly that was strings.
How did I not forget it? Oh man, the slides are getting
And for
more
the guys-
exaggerated all through the superhero
for the
movie.
guys, how many times, especially when she gets off the boat and they're trying to get her in the outfit, how many times did you just feel stupid looking at her?
I mean,
I know I was watching that one. Yeah, right. When she got off the boat, I did not know what I was watching for like the next 30 minutes. I was just glammed by her, honestly. And
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit,
she had a
there's supposed to be
presence.
action here. I was more invested in the chemistry between the two outside of her actually developing to be Wonder Woman and discovering her own potential. I was just like,
I
damn.
forgot what fucking day it was.
Yeah, the dress and the sword scene, that's when I could have been done. Straight
Look,
up.
She literally had, much like the Peggy Carter in the red dress in Captain America 1. That
Oh,
was
my
that was
God.
basically Wonder Woman throughout the whole movie. It's like, I mean, shit. What are you gonna do?
I missed my whole bucket of popcorn one time trying to reach for something watching the movie, and I had a large. I swear I missed the whole joint.
Hey,
I was like, oh my
Staring
bad.
that hard.
Real
You're
talk.
staring that hard at her.
hey, real talk.
She's beautiful. She's absolutely stunning.
Hey, real talk. I think that's why that scene with all the men saying, "What is this woman doing in here?" They were just afraid of the fact that they were going to be like too glamorized, looking at her like, "What are we in the meeting for again? What's up?"
So
Dude, when she put the glasses on, I'm a 35-year-old man, right? I fucking live in Southern California. You can throw a rock and hit one of those, like, fake plastic, you know what I mean? Like, the bullshit chicks. I think I blushed. Like, watching the movie.
What was funny is like what Etta Candy said is like, oh yeah, all of a sudden she's not the most beautiful woman you've ever seen because she put on some glasses.
Yeah, and then you put the glasses
Like,
on her, and it's like, oh yeah, she's hideous. Like,
Yeah, that totally
you put
did
the
it. Like,
glasses
she-
on her, you're like, oh fuck.
No, even Trevor was like, I guess the glasses fine. I mean, shit, she still looks fine as hell with the glasses. It ain't really helping, but okay.
so
What would you rate the movie out of 10? I'm curious.
before that, because I swear that sounds like the closing of the show.
Oh, sorry.
No, I just want to know what would be your guys' expectations for Wonder Woman 2? I mean, do you stay on the same lines of like her really getting a grasp of the world? Do you fast forward it to where this movie kind of ended off at, or do you put it in the current time?
Well, as they already said off the break, it's going to be in current times, so that's already a given.
In America.
Yeah. So yeah.
I liked some.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
No, you go.
I mean, you got to bring Themyscira back into the mix. You'd be dumb not to, because you can't establish this. Because I think we were in Themyscira for what, 20 minutes, maybe
20 glorious minutes.
20 minutes. You can't
Yeah.
just establish Themyscira for 20 minutes and then just push it off in the sequel. It's like, no, you got to bring it back, because that's a lot of shit. I mean, you have to bring that back and really elaborate, because I mean, hell, we don't know how Themyscira necessarily operates. What's the political, like, how do they do political stuff in Themyscira? We don't know all this.
Well,
and that'd be nice to actually see that.
You got hints because they said senator. So I think, yes, they have a queen, but I think it's almost like England with a parliament as well. But the queen still has power.
Like
so
Diana
I think,
left,
because
is
remember,
there repercussions for her leaving? Those kind of things, you know.
I don't think so. Okay, this is the one thing I noticed about the movie. It's like Diana is like, don't you hate when it seems everybody knows something but you? And it seems to be the whole island knew what Diana was.
But we're not going to say anything.
We're not going to say. It was like, because when she was doing the gauntlet and she released some of that power, yeah, people were like, wow. But no one seemed to be flipping out. I would think more people would be like, what the hell happened? But everybody's like, it seems
I
like they
interpreted
all
that
knew.
more as like Zeus did the deed with Hippolyta, so Zeus essentially had an affair.
But that's
you know,
not
it's
really
not
what
to
I'm
be
talking
it's not to
about.
be talked of. No, but like everyone knew how Diana was created. They knew that she was the daughter of Zeus, so they didn't mention it because of Zeus committing adultery, basically. Like Zeus is the high god, so don't talk about it.
I don't think they were talking about. I don't think that's the reaction. To me, it's like they knew that yes, she's a daughter. She's a daughter of Zeus. She's the last child of Zeus, but she's also a weapon. She's specifically made to be a weapon. She's a weapon of last resort, and I think they all knew that. And I just think that she's a weapon of last resort, so therefore eventually she may have to leave the island. So I think that's a contingency they had in place. When you have a general like Antiope, she has contingencies. I think they were prepared for that. I don't think it's going to be a descent into madness because Diana left. I don't think that's going to happen. So I just think it's going to make them more cautious, maybe more reluctant. I think the way we're used to Themyscira, where if any man stepped on the island, they would kill them immediately. I think they may go to that route because they didn't do that at first. Yeah. But they may go that route now. Anybody comes.
I think you said it in modern times, like they said. You said it in America. Yeah. And rather than doing war, because you've already done war, I mean, you could do war, but I feel like she deals with some sort of terrorism. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily like fucking ISIS or anything like that, but I think she deals with, like, the threat of terrorism and how, like, by being, you know what I mean? Like, basically take the plot from the first one of her just being this good person that wants to help and has the means to stop these things. You put it in modern day because it's very relevant with all these, you know, terrorist explosions and bombings and shit like that. And you kind of, again, you don't have her battle a terrorist, like, organization, but you have her battle kind of the idea of terrorism, you know, from some kind of super villain, you know, of course. But to me, a woman battling terrorism would be real fucking relevant and real fucking powerful.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, you know what's funny? I was gonna say you could take a page from Justice League cartoon where it was like, because I think it was a Diana focused two-parter where, like, you had like a rogue Amazonian that was releasing chemicals that was like hitting all the men around the world, and it was like, it was mainly focused on like Wonder Woman. I think it was Wonder Woman and Hawk Girl. They had to save the day, and I was like, that's actually pretty interesting because now you can focus on all the Amazonians that might be helping this chick, and you can see that, and it's like that would actually be pretty dope if they do kind of a variation of that, you know. So,
what about this? What about if she works as a diplomat to try to broker some kind of, not peace treaty, but like some kind of cohabitation between man's world and the Amazonians, to where, like, we don't have to necessarily coexist, but the Amazonians can help restore order if order is balanced. You know, like, the Amazonians kind of have this, like, anti-man's world, so maybe she's working to broker some kind of, like, understanding of, like, we can work together and make the entire world a safer place versus just, like, you know, fucking London or whatever. So, I mean, dude, she look at what Superman was trying to do. I mean, in Batman vs. Superman, he went before Congress, yada, yada, yada. You know, all that bullshit. So maybe Diana serves as this kind of, like, you know, diplomat for, you know, a United Nations or something like that.
Yeah, that could definitely work. But yeah, back to what you're saying. Yeah, I give it about 9 out of 10 personally, at least to me. I mean, what about you guys?
If it wasn't for that dragged out third act, dude, it was painful. Let's be real. It was 4 minutes too long. So I give it an 8. I give it an 8.
Right with you with that 8 because of the highs and lows. It was, I mean, I thought it was good pace though, but it definitely was sometimes where it was just really, really dry. Nothing going on. Yeah. But and then the special effects at the end too, I think questionable. But yeah, 8.
Yeah. About you?
I got to give it a 9 because, again, I think the complaints that people have are complaints you make if you have to make a complaint.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's like, well, I liked it, but fuck this. You know, it's like if you had to pick apart something, Ares, you know, some of that shit was kind of weird. But if you just speaking, let's say, positively, and you said, did you like it or did you not? I would say it was damn near perfect. Damn near perfect. I don't think a perfect movie exists.
So, with that, I guess that's it for the episode. We actually talked a long time, you know, even though we diverted from Marvel and stuff, but it was cool. I like these discussions.
Dude, it's called Comic Book Corner.
Yeah, that is true.
Comic Book Corner.
That is true. That is true, man. We've been kind of on a roll lately because I've been finally picking up reading comics now and stuff. So now it's like, shit, you know, I had like got time now, I can actually read it. So, but yeah,
I've been reading. I've been a little bit behind because I started a new job, but I've been reading. I caved. Actually, bought a sort of DC comic book for the first time.
Yeah, it was on sale this past weekend during Wonder Woman coming out that weekend.
Yeah. It wasn't DC. It was so it's a crossover with IDW. It's Star Trek and Green Lantern. It's amazing. It's so good. It's a 6-part book. Oh my god, it's so good.
It can't be any different. It can't be any different than Space Ghost and Green Lantern. Even up, I actually got that book.
I saw that one.
What?
But I'm telling you, the Star Trek crossover is so good. It makes sense, and it started off like the Cumberbatch one, because it was the alternative universe Star Trek.
Okay.
He gets a hold of a red ring, and it's amazing. It's so good.
Now I gotta read that.
I'm telling you,
that is a good tie-in to Chris Pine with this. So yeah, that makes sense.
I'm telling you, I say give it a try. Give it a try. It's only 6 books, so go ahead and give it a try.
All right, cool. So with that being said, we will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Metro Boomin, want some more, nigga.